Metro Exodus has desert driving, nightmare spiders, and a serious lack of ammo. So much so that within the first 20 minutes of being let out to free roam the huge desert map, one of the game's open world areas that you're looking at right now, I'm reduced to beating irradiated monsters to death with the butt of my rifle. The big change for the third entry in the series is a new open world take on the adventure. You'll still play as Artyom, but instead of scurrying through tunnels getting only brief looks at Moscow above ground, Exodus sees our hero on board a train called the Aurora, travelling across Russia on a nightmarish commute towards the east. As the train travels, the story pulls you through different open world areas, and then you're left to explore at your leisure. This desert one is one of those areas, filled with violent bandits, ruined ships used as fortresses, and bunkers full of spiders. It's not somewhere you'd pick for a vacation, but there is something striking about a landscape of metal trawler carcasses and ruined towers. Apart from some chit-chat from your companions, the Spartan Rangers, your wife Anna, and marks on the map, you're left to decide your own objectives, and are free to go off to explore the sands at your own pace. Which is how I ended up blowing all my ammo and health packs mere meters from where I disembarked from our home on rails. If I'd just headed straight to the first obvious point of interest, a towering fortress made of metal, I'd have had the chance to bolster my item reserves and grabbed the keys to a battered van, making working through the unforgiving dunes a whole lot less frustrating. Instead, I learned the hard way that ammo is a rare sight, and making it at the few workbenches dotted around the map costs valuable scrap. As well as worrying about your ammo, there's an anxiety-inducing number of tools on your person at all times. There's your torch, which is essential in dark areas, but makes you stand out to enemies, that helped fend off spiders in a bunker. Of course, the battery always needs charging regularly and always fails. There's a lighter to burn away webs, and our gas mask to help keep bad air out. The gas mask is a real worry. Not only do its filters need replacing, and yes, you can run out of those too, the mask can get broken in combat, leaving you gasping until you can patch it with tape, and extra vulnerable until you can get to a workbench to repair it properly. I always used my scrap resources on ammo, so my mask was smeared with blood throughout. So while it has the look of an open world map, the survival mechanics, the lack of ammo, the wear and tear on your guns that can only be fixed at a workbench, really kills the joys of exploring. Sure, you might find a stash worth raiding, and a nice note with a bit of environmental storytelling, but you also might attract one too many low-level mutants and see them soak up your precious bullets like ugly sponges, leaving you vulnerable when you actually needed to get some story business done. It's not like I'm new to the Metro series, and the outside was always super inhospitable, but this felt particularly stingy. Maybe if I'd been playing the full game rather than being dropped into a specific section, I would have been better at hoarding, or had a more impressive inventory. Or maybe I would have just learned not to be such a nosy little scrote and stuck to the mission. Once I did get to the first bandit tower, things eased up, and I felt more of the old Metro magic working on my exasperated synapses. Lack of resources is actually much less of a problem once you're in one of the more enclosed areas. The human bandits drop their own guns and ammo after you kill them, and you also have the option of using stealth to slaughter them without even tickling a trigger. Even if you do get spotted slaughtering someone, the AIs don't have the greatest short-term memory, or a strong grasp of how walls work, so ducking down and switching off your torch is usually enough to throw them off your scent. All of the major buildings and bunkers seemed blissfully free of the beige filler mutants that roam the sands, and clearing an area gave me a chance to breathe and really root around for weapon mods and notes. The best part of the demo for me was hunting for maps, and someone's family photo, in an old communication centre. Of course, this was also the underground part, and the part that felt most like the old Metro. Despite my tough time in the desert, I'm still eager to see how the game works as a whole when it's released next month. If nothing else, the series has one of the strongest stories in the post-apocalyptic bunch, and I'm damn invested in Artyom and Anna. Metro Exodus will be released February 15th on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.